Hey guys, what's going on? This is John Gamester81. I'm one of your hosts of the All Gen Gamers. We are recording this episode on May 29th, Tuesday. I'm here with my good friend Jason Heine, the EMA Review. Jason, what's going down?
What up, guys? How you doing?
This is episode 96. I say that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, we got also Jason Middle Jesus Rocks in the house. What's up, Jason?
Not much, man. What's going on, dude?
Good. Pete is not with us this week. He is on vacay, so he'll be gone next week as well. But he'll be back with us. Talk about, I'm sure E3 will be over obviously by then. We'll talk about E3 and his thoughts. And we're also joined by Eric Durant. He's a good friend of mine. He's a contributor to my website, games31.com. He also goes by Night of the Living 8-Bits on YouTube. Although, Eric, I don't think you've done any videos recently, have you?
No videos, just writing lately.
Right. So, Eric, awesome to have you on. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
It's great to be on. It's about time. I've been talking to John for a while about getting on the show, and I've always listened, so it's definitely an awesome opportunity to be here tonight with you guys.
Yeah, Eric's a great guy. He just recently talked to John Romero. For those of you guys may not know who he is, he's actually one of the guys who worked for ID Software back in the day. He was the kind of brains behind one of the guys who contributed a lot to Wolfenstein 3D and Doom and some of the classic ID games back in the day, right? So
Yep.
Awesome.
And the correct pronunciation is everyone always gets it wrong. Everyone says ID. It.
Yeah.
I must have said ID for since 95 to 2009, something like that. So
I knew it was it, and I brain fart. So yeah.
Exactly.
So, but no, that's cool, man. It was an awesome interview, and I'm gonna do a shameless plug, and that's found on my website, game31.com. So there's my shameless plug. You guys can find it there. But what are you guys up to? What have you guys been up to?
Chilling. Straight chilling.
Chilling.
We had a really great holiday,
Yeah.
It was good times. In the last couple of days, John, we went to Comic-Con.
We did, yeah. That was in Phoenix. That was a blast, man.
Yeah, it was. And hasn't that just expanded like crazy?
Yeah, I think they were expecting 40-something thousand plus people. I mean, it's nothing like PAX crazy, but it's crazy because I think 3 years ago we went first time it was only 10,000 people.
Yeah, I remember that too. It was it was just in one room. That was
One
it.
room.
One room,
It was
one
one
level. Now it's it's 2 level, 3 level or something. It's just nuts.
Yeah, it was cool. Got to see William Shatner, and I got to see the whole crew. I don't know if you guys are big fans of Star Trek Next Generation. I love that show. So got to see all the most of the cast was there, except for the only people that weren't there were Picard. He was scheduled to be there, and I think he ended up doing a movie last minute, so he couldn't show up. And then also Beverly Crusher, and Riker wasn't there either, but everyone else was there, including Will Wheaton.
Okay, so here's the $1 million question, John. Well, yeah. I got 2. Okay, 2.
Sure.
First one. So you met William Shatner. How was that? What was that like?
It was cool. Actually, I saw his panel, and I got to shake his hand as well. He's a funny guy, really funny. And it's funny because in some of the questions that the panel was just a Q&A. That's all it was, right? Because people were like, "Hey, what's your favorite Star Trek episode?" Stupid questions like that. But there was some really involved. One question is "What's your bucket list? What else do you want to do in your life on your bucket list?" And he totally dodged the question. He just totally started talking randomly about his dog and how his dog is dying, and it's just the most randomness. But he said it in a kind of a funny way where people he did it well. He dodged it very well, where I think a lot of people didn't notice it, but he didn't answer the question at all. Did
anybody ask him about his album that he put out a couple years called Has Been? Did that ever come up?
An album? What, a music album? Dude,
okay. William Shatner put out, no lie, he put out an awesome album. I'm not even joking. It's an album called Has Been, and he teamed up with a guy he teams up with Ben Folds. Do you know who Ben Fold 5 is?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Him and Henry Rollins and a bunch of people made a musical album, and it's fucking fantastic. And so if I ever met William Shatner, I would want him to sign my copy of that, because no lie, go check it out. It's awesome.
It's surprisingly good. I had no idea he did that.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins was in that too?
Yeah, I think Henry Rollins is at the end whenever there's this kind of a spoken word battle going on back and forth between the two. And it's awesome. It's totally, check it out if you're a William Shatner fan. Highly recommend it. You'll be surprised.
He also did the thing where he he like literally read Elton John's song Rocket Man, right?
Back in the 70s, he also put out an album, and that's a really cheesy, terrible album. I mean, it's because he does Tambourine Man and he does some other kind of classics, but the album that he put out a couple years ago was mostly original music and that he and Ben Folds created. They do a Blur cover, but yeah.
Does he sing? What does he play? What role does he play in that?
He doesn't need to play anything.
Well, he does vocals, and he it's mostly spoken word, but you tell you what, I'll do a rock talk on it, and you guys will be that. Yeah. You guys will be surprised.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, that's cool.
One of my favorite movies that he was in, and it's kind of an obscure one, kind of a cult classic. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Free Enterprise. Have you seen this movie? Heard about it?
No.
Came out in 1998. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Swingers.
Yes.
With Vince Vaughn. If you like Swingers, okay, it's Swingers meets like Star Trek meets like nerdom. I mean, it's awesome because it's a very, very clever movie. And a lot of the guys from Swingers are actually in the movie. And Eric McCormick is like the main actor. And I think he was known for being in Will and Grace, the guy from Will and Grace. Mm-hmm. But William Shatner is hilarious because he plays himself in this movie. And at the very end, the reason I thought about it is because at the end, like he like sings. And he does like a rap to like it's like a Hamlet, but he raps it. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. So very, very well done. It's called Free Enterprise. I think it's a very overlooked movie. If you guys are a big fan of movies, definitely check out Free Enterprise. Funny. But what's your second $1 million question? Since I already have.
Did you get Will Wheaton?
Did I get Will Wheaton? No, I didn't get Will Wheaton. No, I didn't go. I didn't have an opportunity to say hi because, dude. Okay, he had a panel with the Enterprise crew, and he had his own separate panel, which was $10 additional dollars to go to, and people were like lined up for it.
No shit.
So, yeah.
Like $10 additional dollars to go see a panel that you already paid money to get into the event.
Yeah, and people were already like they're eating that shit up like catnip. They loved it. Wow. Which is crazy, right?
Wow.
And William Shatner, check this out. He was charging $80 an autograph.
And with that shit was probably lined up too, huh?
People were lined up, yeah, man. It's like those guys make bank doing this shit, you know. So no, it was a good time, man. A lot of booths. It was like the booth space, the expo hall was like twice the size of last year, and last year I thought was pretty big. You know, it took up all of Phoenix Convention Center, which is huge. So I mean, the floor space, Jason, Middle Jesus, to give you, and even Eric, like it's about the size of like PAX as far as expo hall size. So it was pretty impressive. A lot of comics, a lot of Star Wars shit, which I love, right? A lot of stuff like that. One douchebag was like, "No cameras, you can't film." And I'm like, I'm like, whatever, dude, whatever. So I definitely got him.
Bitch, you must not know who the fuck I am.
I don't know what's the deal with people and being scared of cameras. Like, really, I don't get it.
I know, it's really strange. You know, like we've talked about this before, and I think they don't know where that video is going, and they get really nervous. I mean, even video game stores. You know, John, we've all done it. We've all walked into a store and you're like, nope, no filming. Nope, I can't do that.
I was just planning on putting him in a porno, dude. That's all. Put his face on a...
I know, like, what's the worst that could happen with a video that you're walking into a video store with and recording? Like, what could you possibly do with that video that they're paranoid about it?
Exactly.
That's funny. Put him like around Jeremy's body and shit. He put it like plaster his head on there and,
We're here live at GameWorks with Ron Jeremy.
I met Ron. Hey, funny story. I don't mean to go off topic, but have I told you the story how I met Ron Jeremy?
Was it on the set of a movie?
No, I wish, because he's usually doing some hot chicks, right?
Yeah.
No. So back in college, I don't want to go on a huge story here, but
please do. This ought to be good.
Yeah. But back in college, right? He had a documentary that came out back in like 2001, 2002, I think, and Jason Heine, you're familiar with like Mill Avenue here in Tempe?
Yeah. Cool.
And they
have
the small movie theater there that's been there for like 100 years. It's a classic movie theater. Yeah. So we went to see opening day, and we went to the newspaper. We're like, oh, this might be interesting. Ron Jeremy, we're college guys back in the day. I'm like, it's cool, whatever. So we end up going to this thing, and there's like literally a line out the door to see this movie, and we're like, what the fuck? Like, is this for real? Like, this is crazy. It was like Star Wars crazy, right? Like people camping out for this shit. I'm like, what is going on? And of course you had these big chicks with big tits, and they're all hanging out, getting ready, whatever. Anyway, it turns out this limo comes up and starts just like rolling up to this place, and Ron Jeremy comes out. And it was cool. We got to meet and greet Ron Jeremy, and after the movie, he did a Q&A. But like girls, it was like pandemonium. Girls go crazy for this guy. I don't get it.
You know the weird thing about Ron Jeremy, and I don't know why I know this, but do you know what he's actually famous for? I mean, the technical, right? But it's the fact that he can suck his own dick.
Yeah, he can suck it.
I mean, isn't that weird?
I'm sure there are a couple other kids out there.
You gotta have ribs removed for you right, or some shit.
Not if you have a 10-inch slong.
Yeah, you just rest on your shoulder, something.
I don't think he can do it now with his belly in the way, though.
That's true.
But
it's probably like back in the 70s, he could probably do that.
That's kind of weird, though.
But would you want to do that to yourself?
Well, that's kind of weird to put on a business card, don't you think?
At the end of here's the deal. At the end of the day, though, you have a dick in your mouth. Even if it's your own, there's a dick in your mouth. So does that make you? I mean, does that keep you straight doing that? I mean, I don't know.
Jeremy, I can suck my own cock.
That's weird.
I mean, if you put your own finger up your butthole, is that the same thing? I love where this is going. By the way,
this is off topic, right? So people love this.
Now, I do have to say, though, this is a warning that my games that I played this week will wrap into this topic.
That's my goodness.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, can't wait for that to happen.
Yeah,
but anyway, long story short, Comic-Con was a blast. I know, Jason, you were DJing on Saturday. I'm sure you're going to elaborate a little bit on that, how that was. But great to see you there, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Definitely was a great time. And I failed to mention it episode ago before it happened. But yeah, I was asked to come in and do a set there at Comic-Con. Big shout out to Frank and all the guys there at AZHP. That's Arcade Zone Hard Punch. They are responsible for going in there and setting up all their games, their Xbox, their PS3s. They do gaming tournaments. They give away prizes. They stream it live. It's good stuff. So they asked me to come in and DJ, so I did. I was there from 8 till 11, did a 3-hour set, and I was hoping to stream it, and they didn't have internet for me, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to, but I did end up recording it. I set up my webcam behind me, and I ended up recording it, and I did post that. I streamed it back into the live stream, but it was recorded, so I don't know how you would classify that video, but it is on my Twitch TV channel, which wait a minute, no, it's on my Jason Heine Radio, which is justin.tv/Jason Heine Radio. That's where I do all my DJ sets. So anyway, it's there if you guys want to check it out. It's a 2-parter. Good stuff. I was really honored to be there, and I think it's a great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to next year. They said that they'd love to have me back, so
cool.
John, thanks for coming there and helping me move my stuff around. It was a lot of work,
quite the setup, man. It was pretty impressive, and how you just move everything around. I mean, like, man, it's a lot of work. And I know personally, I really enjoyed your music, and I think a lot of people just from look at people's heads nod, and you can tell people are kind of into it, So that's awesome. So
yeah, it was a good time for sure.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow us, the All Gen Gamers podcast, on Facebook and Twitter. Subscribe to us on YouTube and in iTunes. And don't forget about those iTunes ratings, guys. We appreciate those. And for all other info, links, and our forum, please visit www.allgengamers.com.